Hey Fire fans, welcome to Touchline TV. I'm your host, Brendan Hannon. Today, we're going to take a look at what turned out to be a rocky month of April for the Fire. We're going to sit down with Captain Logan Pause for an exclusive interview. But first, we're going to go inside the new team store here at Toyota Park. It's open 7 days a week. Let's check it out.
You know, we've been trying to put a merchandise store in here at Toyota Park since year one. One of the questions we get asked all the time is, where can I find Chicago Fire merchandise? And it's been difficult. And I think a lot of people are under the impression that, hey, just build a merchandise store. It's a lot harder to just build a merchandise store and do it the right way. Until we found a partner like Dreams Retail, we didn't have the capability to pull off what we wanted to pull off to make it look as professional as it does now. So waiting has actually helped us, and we're in a brand new contract with Dreams Retail for a long-term contract with them, and we expect good things to happen every year with Dreams. So it's going to be a huge improvement over the past. The first game we did sort of a soft opening, just to kind of get awareness out there that we were open. We pushed it a little bit more for the second game, and it's been a tremendous response. I think fans are actually finding what they want now. With the help of Dreams Retail and Fans Edge, the store's open 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., so we've got some decent hours there. People can stop by anytime and shop here, even when there's an event not happening at the stadium or our Fire game. Come on out to the store and visit. You'll be really impressed. I think most of the fans who come through here are quite impressed with what we've got here, and we're glad to have it here at Toyota Park. And thanks to help between the Chicago Fire, the Village of Bridgeview, and Dreams Retail, this is happening. So thanks, folks.
Being the longest standing player on the current roster, Fire Captain Logan Pause has had the opportunity to learn the tenets of tradition, honor, and passion from some of the greatest players to ever don a Fire uniform. We sat down with Logan to discuss his progression as a player throughout the years and what he does to mentor the young players on the squad. Let's take a look at our interview with Logan now. Hi, we're here with Chicago Fire Captain Logan Pause. I'm going to start out with a couple questions. How you doing, Logan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. The first question, you've been in the league now for 9 seasons. Besides experience, what would you say is the biggest difference between you now and you when you first came into the league?
I think it's kind of hard to separate experience and what I've learned along the way. I think with that experience, I've matured. I mean, that's probably the biggest the biggest progression throughout my career, that I've matured as a person and as a player, and some of that has come through experience, some of that's come from getting to learn from coaches and players that I've played with, and then also just not being a young kid anymore.
For sure. I've heard you describe a lot of different ways, a workhorse, defensive midfielder. How would you describe yourself as a player?
That's interesting. I mean, I probably would describe myself as a very poor man's Chris Armas. I mean, there's a lot of talk about my work ethic and things like that. I like to consider myself a pretty good soccer player, so I don't want to not necessarily regard that, but I feel like I'm a player that tries to take pride in doing things the right way, playing simple, making plays for my teammates, and trying to just move the play along. But poor man's Chris Armas would probably be
all right.
I mean, that's probably even not fair to him to even throw me in that same breath.
As the leader of this team, I imagine you give out a lot of advice, or you've been given some advice over the course of your career. On and off the field, what's the best advice that you've been given?
The best advice probably on the field, and I learned from guys like I've already mentioned Chris Armas and C.J. Brown, and these guys that came before me, was doing things the right way, and that's everything from training habits to off the field, treating people the right way, and you know, kind of emulating and trying to, you know, create a character and a personality off someone that does that. And then, you know, another big piece of advice, and probably the biggest, you know, has been my faith and putting my faith in Christ. So those two things on the field, and then as a whole, you know, those have been the two things for me.
For sure. What type of advice do you give to young guys? You know, I know that you sort of mentor the young guys who come in, the Giuliani Babas and those type of guys.
I tell these young guys, you know, every single day, be out there trying to improve, trying to do things the right way. And I know it's hard for guys to come in, and there's a lot. I mean, this is our profession, so we're all fighting for jobs, and I know it's hard, especially with young guys oftentimes coming from an environment where they're usually the best player. And so it's not easy. You know, there is a learning curve, and it's more of a mental jump.
Jumping from there, both of your parents are teachers. How do you think that shaped you as a player?
You know, I think it's maybe shaped me more as a person than as a player. The style of teachers that they are, and the style of parents, a lot of it is incredibly supportive and loving, and you know, allowing me to make decisions and deal with the consequences, whether good or bad. And I think that's one of the you know, and allowing me to develop and become the person that I am, and encourage that, and not try to mold, you know, put me in this box or mold me, and so I think that's helped, you know, that's, you know, developed my character, which has then, you know, gone into, you know, what I am as a player.
Solid. Thanks for your time, Logan. Thanks for joining us on Touchline TV. After a red-hot month of March, the Fire kicked off April with a road trip to the Pacific Northwest, which saw the men in red fall 2-1 to the Seattle Sounders FC at Qwest Field and 4-2 to the Portland Timbers in the grand opening of Geldwen Field. The Fire returned home that weekend to take on the LA Galaxy at Toyota Park. After Galaxy goals from Chad Baird and Omar Gonzalez, the Fire mounted a furious comeback. Dominic Oduro pulled one back in the 89th minute to tally his first goal in a Fire uniform. The Fire continued to press for an equalizer following Oduro's strike. However, time ran out and the Fire found themselves on the wrong end of a 3-game skid. After a strenuous 3 games and 8-day stretch, the Fire got some much-needed rest before welcoming a Houston Dynamo team to Toyota Park. That Dynamo team was unbeaten in their last 4 games. The Fire came out blazing, and it paid off in the 18th minute when Fire forward Diego Chavez picked up a loose ball just outside the box and blasted a 10-yard shot into the top left corner of the Dynamo net to score the 99th goal at Toyota Park. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough as Bobby Boswell headed home Brad Davis' corner kick to level the match in the 83rd minute. The final match of April saw the Fire head to Colorado to take on the defending MLS Cup champions, who were without a win in their last 3 matches. Marco Papa kicked off the scoring in the 43rd minute when he converted a Dominic Oduro cross to score his 3rd goal of the season. The Fire were unable to hold on as Colorado's Andre Akpan equalized for the Rapids in the 50th minute. The game finished 1-1, leaving the Fire waiting for a much-needed victory to get back on track.
Yeah, it was a learning experience. So we learned a lot that month. We learned a lot about our team when it comes to adversity and things like that, and how we respond. And so in the coming months, we know what we need to do to get those victories and to close out games and to stay focused the whole match. So we're ready for a new month. It's a new season, man. We still got a lot of time, and but we're taking it game by game.
April is over. Was awful for us, and now we have a great opportunity now on Saturday and at home, and we have to take it.
The Fire look to get back on track in the month of May, and Touchline TV will be there each step of the way on and off the field. Look for an episode next month. For now, I'm Brendan Hannon. Thanks for watching Touchline TV.